Okay, this is the homework help video for Math 3 Unit 5 Worksheet 2. So I'm going to start with question number 11. So I'm looking to multiply, so I'm just going to multiply the roots together. So 8 times 6 is 48. And then I have x times x, so 1, 2, so I have 2 x's. And then y squared. So for number 11, I need to split up the 48 because I don't know the square root of 48. So 48 is 1 and 48. 2 goes into it. 3, see 4. 5 does not. 6. Okay, so those are my factors of 48. And so I don't know the square root of 6 or 8. I do know the square root of 4. I also know the square root of 16. I don't know the root of 2 or 24, and 1 or 48 won't simplify it any further. So here, I want to choose the bigger number that I know the root of, so I know the root of 16. So the square root of 16 is 4. And then the square root of x squared is x to the first because 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then the square root of y squared is y to the first because 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then the only thing I didn't know the square root of was 3. So 48, so I skipped a step there, but 48 is 16 times 3. The square root of 16 is 4, and I don't know the root of 3. Okay. And let's take a look at number 14. So again, we're multiplying. So I'm going to multiply everything together first. So the 5, the coefficient, I'm going to multiply to that implied 1. So 5 times 1 is 5. And then multiply all the radicals together. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then I have 1 and 3. So I have 1c here and 3c, so that gives me 4 altogether. For my d's, I have 6 here and 1 here being multiplied, so that would give me 7 altogether being multiplied. Okay. So I can take the square root of 4 and the square root of c to the 4th because 4 is divisible by 2, but not 7, so I have to split my 7s. So the square root of 4, so I have a 5, is 2. C to the 4th, I'm taking the square root of that, so 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then I'm going to have to split up my d's. So I'm going to take 1 off, and that leaves me with 6. So 5 times 2 is 10. And then I have a c squared. I can take the square root of d to the 6 because I'm going to just divide by 2, so 6 divide the power by 2, so 6 divided by 2 is 3, so then the power becomes d to the 3rd, and 1 does not divide by 2, so I'm left with d to the 1st, or just d in the power, or under the root. Okay. And then let's do one more. Let's take a look at number 16. Okay, so for this one here, I just want to multiply together. So the 3 here is going to multiply the implied 1, so that leaves me with a 3 out front. And then I have a 2. And then for my a's, I have 5 a's here and 7 there, so I have 12 a's being multiplied all together. And then for my b's, I have 5 here and 6 here, so I have 11 altogether. So I have 12 a's and 11 b's. So 12 divides by 2, right? So there's an implied 2 here. So I can do 12 divided by 2, but not 11 divided by 2. So I'm going to have to split my b's. So I'm just going to take 1 off, right? So if I take 1 off, then that leaves me with 10, and 10 does divide by 2. So I can't square root that. And then I can divide my 12 by 2, so 12 divided by 2 is 6. And then 10 divided by 2 is 5, so my new power is 5. And then 1 does not divide by 2. So I'm left with a 2 and a b to the first. And then that's my answer.